The march on the DNC begins right here at Union Park. Think about this, 10 to 30,000 different protesters gathered right here, about a half a mile from the United Center where the DNC is actually taking place.
They lifted up one of those gates and were able to forcibly remove it. Once at least one of those gates was removed, then a flood of protesters were able to get past, and that's when SWAT moved in. Yesterday, we had our body vests on, we had our helmets on, and we saw exactly what they were able to do. Essentially, if you look at these little brackets here, you see how they're bent. The protesters that got out of hand were able to take them and push them to the side. That allowed them to stick their fingers through these gates or even underneath here and lift up. Once they were off for good. And really, when we talk about these wind gusts and we talk about the potential that it can cause, it's all about the storm surge. It is now beginning to come over, cresting over this marina as it blasts me in the face. This is something that really is worrisome for the people here in Sarasota. So I started reporting on Luigi Mangione's prison conditions as I was finding them out. And as soon as the live shot was over, that's when I turned around and they said, the conditions suck. And so that was my confirmation. Oh my gosh, they're watching NewsNation at that very moment. I pulled out my camera, I recorded, and here's more of that interaction. Take a look from earlier today.
Luigi's conditions suck. Free Luigi.
Can I just ask the guys, if they can hear me right now, to answer yes or no very loud. Does Luigi have television in his single cell?
No.
Unreal.
And that's the reason why you brought me in here today, to show you some of this big board action. When we look at Michigan, obviously you could tell it's still a toss-up. According to DDHQ presidential forecast, those states that are colored yellow are essentially the swing states, the toss-up, the battleground states. Even though you're living perhaps day to day looking over your shoulder, you're still potentially caught off guard in that moment.
Absolutely, and nothing's ever happened.
For him, it was just an ordinary Tuesday
Just an
morning.
ordinary Tuesday. Unbeknown to him, we had been watching him for 2 weeks.
So the wife being in the car is one of those added elements of surprise, something that you did not see in previous surveillance, but all of a sudden added a new element today.
Absolutely.
We're now heading east back towards Union Park. You can see this area is mostly residential. Organizers tell me they have concerns that this area is going to become overcrowded by tens of thousands of protesters, that they'll start walking on people's lawns and unintentionally destroying property while exercising their First Amendment right.
So ever since that first assassination attempt, as you know, Nicole, the Secret Service has been under such heavy scrutiny and fire. It looks like this is a surprise guest, former presidential candidate RFK Jr. taking the stage right now. This was the epicenter, the starting point for one of the tornadoes that touched down here in Portage, and you can see why. That used to be a barber shop. That used to be a smoke and vape shop. And this used to be a Pizza Hut. Look at the damage. I'm now walking on that trail, heading towards the intramural fields at the University of Georgia campus, where police say Laken Riley's friend frantically called 911 after she didn't return home from her morning run. You'll notice that they're all wearing pink in solidarity. This is their way to show support for Karen Reed. And believe it when I tell you, when Karen Reed comes and parks her car every day, these people swarm and surround her, chanting her name. Kansas City PD is saying right now, look, it's all in the hands and the timeline of Frontier Forensics. We are not going to release any information to these families until the medical examiner's report is complete. These neighbors tell me that they actually have security camera footage from their own Ring doorbell cameras that shows Jose Ibarra with bloody clothes and other evidence, taking them to these dumpsters and then ditching all the evidence. It sounds as if it was not just one or two holdouts, but it was a room of 12 jury members who were deeply divided, feeling as if their convictions were not willing to be overturned without compromising their own moral integrity. And then one other thing I want to show you, Nicole, take a look. You'll see right over here on this green pole, we saw City of Chicago come here and install these additional cameras. They are eyes in the sky at this section. And a swarm of men, 10 or so guys, jump out, just inflict the most damage as possible on your son. We're going to be spending the day traveling throughout this Midwest region, trying to see what the traffic patterns are looking like. You can take a look. We're about 2 miles from O'Hare. It's a little bit stop and go at this moment as people, as you know, are making their way to the airport to get home for the holidays. Rest in peace, sweet Jocelyn. #Forever12, indicating the tragedy of this all. She was only 12 years old at the time that she was killed. The reason the memorial is here is because this is the exact creek where police say they found the body of the teenager Monday morning.
Doesn't look like a hit and run.
Have you ever heard them say foul play is suspected?
I've heard suspected of foul play, suspicious death. If you know something, just say it. You know, it's better to say it and let the family have some sort of peace, to let Noah have some sort of peace, than to not say anything.